Greetings and welcome to AlonzoBash podcast, where art and culture meets activism. In this episode, DJ Quest takes us back to his roots in Antigua, sharing the pivotal moment he convinced his mother to invest in his very first DJ controller, a decision that would spark a remarkable journey. He opens up about representing Antigua and Barbuda on an international platform at the Red Bull Three-Style Caribbean Championship, where he made it all the way to the finals, showcasing his elite skill and versatility. Quest also reflects on his recognition at the Antigua National Music Awards and his recent nomination for International DJ of the Year at the Caribbean Music Awards 2026, further solidifying his impact in the culture. On the production side, he breaks down his creative process behind standout records like Inde and Antigua Mas, then later capturing the Soca Monarch title in 2025, along with Hysteria, which he co-wrote and produced for Grenadian artist Vorn. From Potter's Antigua to international stages, DJ Quest 268 delivers insight, inspiration, and real industry gems. This is one conversation you don't want to miss. Real people, real conversations. AlonzoBash podcast starts now.
Greetings and welcome to AlonzoBash podcast. I'm your host, AlonzoBash. And of course, today, man, we're joined with another special one. Today we're taking a little trip to the beautiful island of course, I've been practicing this, of Antigua and Barbuda. I got yelled a couple of years ago on the stage for saying Bermuda. Ladies and gentlemen, let's waste no time, man. Big time DJ, big time producer, big time award winner. The accolades goes on and on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Quest.
In the building.
Welcome, brother. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, man. What's going on?
I did that school, man. Trying to be like you.
Oh gosh.
Trying to be like you, man. So 268. I'm assuming that's the area code for Antigua?
All day, every day, bro.
Yeah. I didn't check the WhatsApp. All right, nice.
All day, every day.
All right, to your story, man. You were born and raised in
born and raised. Listen, never lived anywhere else. Born, grew up. I studied in England for like a year.
Okay.
Studied sound engineering in England for like a year.
Nice.
I moved around. I was in Florida for a couple of months.
All right, cool, man. So let's talk about your family structure, man. So you grew up with mom and dad, or
no, actually, my parents separated when I was a bit younger. So mostly grew up with my mom. Not that my dad was like a no-show or anything, but I was mostly influenced by because I was living with my mom.
Okay.
It's one of them kind of situations.
Yeah. And what the community in Antigua you from?
Potter's Village. That is the same community. Funny enough, it just happened to seem like all the leading entertainers in Antigua, a majority of them are from Antigua, because that's the same village that Burning Flames is from.
Okay, wow.
Right?
Nice.
And if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I believe some members of the band that was big back in the early 2000s might have been from Antigua as well. I could or could not be right.
Yeah.
And then, of course, one of the leading MCs, Mike Men from Antigua as well, Ibis Delivis, he's also from Potters.
Okay.
It just seems once you're from Potters,
you're good to go.
Yeah.
Things. All right, Potters, man. So, all right, let's talk about Potters. Tell me, because I'm myself from Trini. I'm not sure if you know that. Then,
okay, nice.
Yeah, I've been invited to Antigua. I don't know if you know Johnny Guap.
Yeah, I know Guap. Guap is my boy. You from the east or the west? You don't sound like you from south.
Yeah. I'm a Bridget, man. All right, nice.
No, but you from the south? You from east?
In Trini.
Yeah.
East side, yeah, from the east.
Yeah. You don't. You're not giving the west, and you definitely don't sound south.
No. Definitely. East Arima all day.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, for real. All right, so let's talk about the community again. So what is your community type like? You mentioned a village. It's like a small town. I mean,
what? It's a small village, man. Just a small residential area. Friendly people. I must say, after living here, so my mom's in the area that we live in, Potters.
Yeah.
My mom's house was the first house in some bushes.
Oh, wow. New development.
Yeah, literally. It was like a new development area. And then the government kind of like built some houses just further down the road.
Yeah.
Then sold the ship. They built them to sell them.
Okay.
And then after that, I literally watched the area develop to what it is now. Yeah. I've seen it come to the point where it is now.
Okay, nice. All right, so for someone who never been to Antigua like myself, man, what the first thing you should do when you reach Antigua? Like in Trini, the first thing you do, you must have a doubles. And I know you was in Trini earlier on this year, so we'll talk about that, a little as we continue on. But what the first thing I should do when I reach Antigua? Boom, I reach. What's the next move?
As you reach Antigua, go to the beach. The first thing you do is go to the beach.
Yeah.
You need to go to the beach. There's 365 of them. The
Wow.
first thing you do when you touch Antigua, you go to the beach. After that, you go to Brownies. You get yourself a bun and cheese or bread and cheese.
Okay.
And you're gone a road.
Yeah.
That is it.
That is it. That is it. Nice. I like that, man. All right, so let's talk about your so how you got in what was your introduction to music?
Funny enough, my mom tried to get me into music at an early age, and for the life of her and me, I just wasn't on it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's so funny because I just wasn't in it like that. I remember I got a keyboard for Christmas.
Okay.
Probably pressed two things on it, and then after that I threw it aside. Funny enough, look at this sitting right in front of me right now. And then it just kind of happened. I remember being introduced to that virtual DJ program back in like 2007, 8, 9, somewhere around there. And then after that, I just kind of like it. I gravitated to it, and I just never left it, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then everything kind of, it's a snowball effect. Because after that happened, I started messing with it over and over and over, and then I started getting more interested. I started looking up, like seeing more things about things that I can get interested in as it pertains to like equipment and blah blah blah.
Right.
And then I eventually started humbugging my mom for my first DJ controller.
Okay. So let me take it back a little bit, though. I myself am excuse me, I myself is a DJ, so I'm very much familiar with virtual DJ. So back then when that came out, I'm assuming you had a laptop of your own and
laptop, just a Toshiba laptop, a big ass dinosaur Toshiba laptop.
You really start from the bottom and make your way up, man.
Yeah, so much so, right? That laptop, I think at one point my mom stepped on it and broke the screen. So eventually what I had to do now was get another desktop screen and roll over with the laptop and connect it to the desktop screen.
Yeah.
That's the struggles that we
that's crazy. All right. So you say so your mom eventually got you a controller?
She was hesitant to do it, but she did, because I was like, again, she tried to get me into music. I wasn't for it. I tried to play sports. Like she tried to get, as a mother, you try to find out what the child's interest is, right? So she would put me in all kind of extracurricular activities, blah 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 blah, and nothing stuck. I stuck with none. Basketball, football, cricket, blah blah blah. I just wasn't staying with it. But the only thing I seemed serious about was the music. The problem is that she didn't want to invest in buying me that controller. At the time was like $1,500 US, which is a lot of money. Still a lot of money now, but imagine 15 years ago how much money that was at the time.
Yeah.
And it didn't make it in her head. She was like, why am I going to buy this for him? And then he uses it for 2-3 months and then throws it aside.
Yeah, like it did with the keyboards.
She wasn't biting at first, but eventually she gave in.
Right.
That just snowballed everything from there. Like I remember after I got that controller, he would go to sleep at 8 a.m., leaving me behind that controller, and wake up at 8. No, she would go to sleep at 8 p.m. and wake up at 8 a.m. and I'm still there. I have not went to bed yet. I'm still there practicing, going through music, learning how to mix, because I'm listening other mixes from like Private Ryan and stuff like that, practicing from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. And then when she's getting up to go to work, I'm going to bed because I haven't slept for the night.
Okay.
I wasn't even like eating too much. I remember she's like, "Where you going to eat? You can't eat the music now." I was like, "You can't convince me of that right now."
Yeah, that's consuming it.
Yeah.
All right. So at what point, remember your first gig? What was the first official gig? You know, you said you get your laptop, you get a controller now. And now at this point, you you felt to yourself that you're the DJ, you're official.
My first gig was, I can't remember entirely how I got it. I think it was through my mom, where her one of her co-workers had a friend who was having this party.
Yeah.
And they booked me for it. I got 100 EC. 100 EC is what call it 220 TT. 40 US for that gig. And I had my friends from high school lug the controller on, because it was a big ass controller I got to. My first controller was an NS7. That was a very big controller. Yeah, right. So I had my friends lug that around, and then I went and I played, and sure enough, nobody was there. It was I was just warming up, right? But I remember just playing a very consistent 90s dancehall set. Again, I was early warming, so I was just staying in my. I knew about staying in my lane. I knew about not rushing the dance. I knew about playing your role, whatever the case is.
Right. I
played a heavy 90s dancehall set, and then after that we rolled out. It wasn't bad, but they enjoyed it, and I got $100, and I was excited. I was like, wow, I made some money.
Nice.
So that was that.
That was that. All right. So from you mentioned something just now. You said you kind of knew your role. You was there early, obviously what we call early warming. You want to play all the latest and all that kind of stuff. So obviously you was prepared. Like you studied the craft before, you actually it wasn't just learning the music and playing. You actually studied the whole science and the craft of DJing.
Right. What happened with that is that I was around a lot of DJs too. So in my the interest would have happened in like me being in high school, right? And at that time, I was in my early years of high school. Obviously, there were other older DJs in high school as well, or just leaving high school, going into college and stuff. I didn't know that was what I was doing at the time, but I was networking, connecting with them, asking them certain things and asking them like pointers and whatever the case is. Specifically, DJ Tweeter. Tweeter was the baddest thing coming out of the younger generations of DJs. Tweeter was actually playing in like all of them grown people dances, and he was playing with CDs at the time and going through have his CD bag and this and that, and he was like the man coming out of as a younger DJ going up, and I was lucky enough to be very close with him and like learn a lot of things from him, get some music from him, have guidance from him, and sure enough, those are some of the things that we would talk about, get understandings of. And again, I just understood that, all right, I'm playing first. I have no reason to be playing. Let's say Clark's was the big tune at the time in 2011, somewhere around there, wherever. I have no business playing that at 8 o'clock when the dance just starts. Like, you know what I mean? So things like that.
But it is funny, man, trying to look up forward, so the trying to
I even now I find I feel like knowing your role works out better for you in the long run, because you will get your chance to shell a dance. I remember some of them events, especially in Antigua, mostly in Antigua, as I was coming up.
Yeah.
I would get, again, so my name started to circulate. I started playing early on some of these events. And then I would play early, and then the run sheet wouldn't exactly run for the entirety of the dance.
Right.
So let's say it starts at 8. I start playing at 8. I play from 8 to 9 or 8 to 10 for the first as a warm up, and then after that, all the DJs on the cast play. But then there's still another 45 minutes to go because we get extra time from the police.
Right.
I would happily be the one to jump back on stage, because no, people are in the dance. Fine, it's at the very end. It's at the tail end of the dance, right? But people are tired, and maybe people are leaving even at that point. It's thinning out or whatever. But I'm still glad for the opportunity to play the things. I think that's what I enjoyed most about it. It's like, all right, we're at the end of the dance and everything has been played. All the big tunes of whatever year has been played, or whatever the case is. What am I going to play now? And I would take joy in finding all the songs that has not been played to still keep that energy going. I think that's you're taking me on a journey here, boy, because now I'm thinking back about it. That's really what I did. Like, all right, cool. They didn't play any hip hop. These hip hop songs were banging at the time. I know this will still work. This will still get forward, even though it's not the newest one. But it's still our vibe. It's still, people still react to it. So I would literally sit down here and study the entire dance and thinking to myself, all right, that don't play, that don't play, that don't play, that don't play.
Right.
And eventually they're like, all right, cool, he can hold his own. Let's give him a chance further up in the event. You know what I mean? Like, eventually I got the chance to show up.
Yeah. Well, that's important, man. That's why I asked you. It seemed like you studied the science of it, because, like you mentioned, you have to pay attention. And I feel like a lot of young talent now, and I'm not knocking anybody, they need to understand the process. It's something that it's not just about just playing music. You have to learn the music, learn the crowd, your position, and figure out what works. And just go with the vibe.
It's a science. Say what too? As I got older, I get to understand too. It's not all on the DJ per se. The patrons have some licks to take in that regard too, because even me as a patron, you go to an event as a patron, you can't expect to walk into an event at the last 2 hours of the event and expect to be hyped. So I feel like the process of enjoying an event is you have to come, get acquainted with what is happening, like the climate of whatever the case is, grab yourself a drink, whatever the case is, feel out the vibe or whatever the case is. and then you yourself will climax with the party. I feel like people should try to climax with the party more than just showing up at the party and expect to be turned. Like, it doesn't necessarily work like that. You know what I mean? So if the DJ is yes, knowing how to climb, the patron should also be there for you to climb with.
True.
Yeah.
You know, the worst thing is people come in and what about requests? Me personally, well, I'm gonna ask you the question. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a big fan of requests, you know. But I'm gonna ask you, what's your take on requests?
Brother, yo, you know, so my problem with requests is if it was a request from a DJ where they're like, yo, in this moment here, you're in like a specific pocket. Because people understand the science of it, right? But a random patron might come up to you, let's say you playing payroll, muddy.
Yeah.
And you up in the pace, you have power going, boom.
Nice.
Load me up with the aisle, everything, and the whole party jumping.
Right.
And you come to me and tell me, what's that song? Is Kalani folded? Man, look around. The whole entire event is jumping. And you, like, how we get from there to the energy is just not matching what is happening.
It happens all the time. I think a lot of people don't realize that. You know what? Then DJ get mad about request because 9 out of 10 times, or I might be exaggerating, let's say 8 out of 10. The person request does not match what's taking place.
What is happening? No. And they don't understand that it's a process to get to where they want you to go.
Or they come back 10 minutes later, hey, you play this song yet?
Hey, you play this song? I remember there was one time, right? This dude, I was doing one of them weekly events that I used to do. This dude came up to me and was like, yo, my boy, he was from the US, I think. Play this song and slip me $50. I'm like, all right, cool. But I wasn't where he was. I can't remember the exact details, but I remember the happenings. He was like, play this song. I'm like, all right, cool. Came back half an hour later. Yo, I'm about to leave. You still ain't playing my song. I was like, yo, take your money, bro. Like,
yeah. You know, you can do that in radio.
It's almost like a styling thing, and I personally don't like people trying to style me. I'm not hungry for your money, my boy. Take it back, and let me continue doing my job here.
Yeah, not a fan, man. Not a fan. All right, so let's talk about your progression into the music space, man. Let's see. You performed for King Combs, or open up for Akon, UB40, Coffee. You know, all these big names. So what was the process like for you to get to that level? Again,
knowing my role, and as things started to grow, I think what happened was a vital part of me growing as a DJ too was Instagram and social media. First, I started posting my mixes on Facebook, and funny enough, I was doing it, not even realizing. Now you think back, you realize it's the same thing you were doing. We just didn't have a word for it at the time or a phrase. Yeah. I would make mixes in virtual DJ, and then I would take a bunch of pictures from the different summers that I had, like me and my friends riding around on our bicycles in the area, and stitch them together to make a video, because you couldn't just post an audio to Facebook. You had to post a video. Yeah. So we had to create a video and attach the mix to the video in order to upload your mixes to Facebook. And I was doing that at first, and that's where that started. And then Instagram came around, and then at the time, Instagram only gave you like 10 seconds of video. So I started posting videos of me scratching, because I just got the controller and doing my fancy little DJ tricks and whatever cases. And the videos and then would get good interaction, and people would pay attention to what's happening and whatever. Yeah. And it just kind of snowballed down from there. I kept posting, and people started reacting to my stuff. Sure enough, I started getting bigger gigs. More people started reaching out to me across the island. And then it just snowballed down to the point where I was starting to get very, very popular. I think some of what would have happened then was I think the first time I made news with a DJ career was that when I entered Red Bull 3 Style. 3 years before I did 2019. 3 years before that, Puffy would have entered. And then the whole Caribbean realized that, oh, dude, you can enter as a Caribbean. Because we thought, people knew about it, but nobody ever thought from the Caribbean you can enter and be a part of that competition. And he kind of I entered that, and then I started making. That was the first time I was featured as a DJ in the news and on papers and whatever the case is.
What was that? What was that feeling like? You know, seeing your name on the papers. For yourself and your mom and so forth.
It's a good feeling, man. It's like, I don't think I've ever said this publicly, but I feel like there are persons that looked down on me and my path as a DJ while I was growing up. And to be honest, my mom didn't make it any better, because my mom, like, no shade to her, right? But She was a very, she was a very, very.
Before you even answer that, I could tell you, your parents, they love you to death, but in your mind, you're a superstar, but to them, you just.
No, but the thing about it is she was so, I think she was just protective.
Yeah.
Of me not going down the wrong path. I feel like she just had in her. She's a very paranoid person. Let's use the word paranoid.
Yeah.
She just didn't want me to go down the wrong path. So, like, if I would do something, and even now I'm looking back at it, I was only just doing what boys do as boys as we grow up. Like, to be fair, like I was going into the bushes. We was lighting fires in the bushes, like cooking, like the rivers and that kind of thing, like normal boy stuff. Going into what we didn't know is an actually private owned land, and like going on the coconut trees and thieving them and taking the coconut on them and drinking them and so on during the summer. But then she would make it blow up like if I was damn near taking up a gun and going to rob a store. Right? She was a very passionate person. That's the word I would use.
Okay.
So when she would tell the stories about me, I feel like that also gave people like, and I can only understand it because it's my mom, right? But she almost, I guess she almost kind of gave them the kind of like he not doing too good and he not behaving himself, and he's I was just doing what boys do when you think about it. I don't feel like I did anything that dramatic. I wasn't arrested for any real weird crimes or anything like that. I was just enjoying my youth.
Sometimes too, your parents have a vision for you.
Yeah.
When you don't really fit into that vision,
yeah.
You get concerned,
She was a bit concerned, but eventually when I started like doing better things within the career path that I chose, she was definitely very proud. I can't say that she wasn't very supportive. Like there's a point I was a mechanic at one point, and I was just I was a mechanic. I won't say where.
Yeah.
I was a mechanic and I got an endorsement deal. And in getting that endorsement deal, where I was a mechanic at, they were like, yeah, you can't have that endorsement and work here. So you're going to need to either cancel that or we're going to fire you.
Okay.
I'll take the endorsement deal. And I left the regular 9 to 5. And she was like, BJ, you sure you want to do this? You want to do this? You want to go forward with this? And I'm like, yeah, screw it. And at the same time, as that happened, everything fell into place. However, I had my weekly gigs. I had my gigs on the weekend.
Yeah.
And then I had radio. Radio came about and I was doing the radio. So like same time I stopped being a mechanic, I got on the radio and
you start taking it serious now.
Yeah, like it's like this is bread and butter now. Like no ramping joke thing. Like
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I kind of mapped out like my funds as well too.
Yeah.
So it made sense. And sure enough, she was, I don't think she was sure. As any parent, knowing that their child is going to something that is not as secure as a regular 9 to 5, a regular 9 to 5.
Yeah, it could be concerning.
Right, it is. It was, but it worked out, bro. Like like I'm pretty sure she walks around very high with her chest very high, knowing that I've done some pretty decent stuff coming out of that.
That's cool, man. All right, so you mentioned Red Bull Caribbean Freestyle Caribbean Championship. You were a finalist on there. What was that experience like for you? I mean, that's an international platform, I mean, you got the best out there, So what was that experience for you? Was nervous? It was,
So that story is so crazy. I almost didn't make it to Panama. The event happened in Panama. The championship happened in Panama.
Yeah.
I almost didn't make it.
What happened?
Got to the airport. Everybody rallied up. Everybody met me at the airport to wish me well wishes, blah, blah, blah. Good luck.
Right.
Got to the airport and the flight was canceled. And I didn't get an email or anything about this. So this is a whole story, right? This by itself is a story. I got to the airport. That didn't work. I was like, all right, cool. Screw it. They're like, the next flight, you can get a flight out of Trinidad. So I bought the flight out of Trinidad. I bought the flight to Trinidad out of my pocket.
Oh, wow.
The ticket was like 300 and something US. It wasn't nothing crazy.
Okay.
Right? Bought the flight, but mind you, remember Red Bull would have competition would have paid for everything.
Yeah.
Before, but because it's a corporate company, so they can't release funds. That's like blah just like that.
Right.
So it was a process of having to get the funds to do it. So I had to just buy the ticket to Trinidad.
Okay.
Got to Trinidad and they were supposed to schedule the flight from Trinidad to Panama. I can't remember the exact route. I think it was something like that.
Yeah.
Didn't get on the flight. So actually, no, I stayed overnight in Trinidad.
Okay.
right? Stayed overnight in Trinidad. Woke up the next morning, went to the airport.
Yeah.
I was not on the flight to Panama from Trinidad.
Wait, you mean it wasn't? Wait, you didn't have a ticket? Official
Yo,
ticket?
my boy,
Yeah.
I bought the ticket to Trinidad, went to Trinidad, slept in Trinidad, and didn't have a flight out of Trinidad.
Jano.
All right,
So
cool.
what happened,
So they then organized a ticket.
Mm.
They're like, all right, the next best route is out to Barbados. So we head
Okay.
to Barbados. Go to Barbados. I'm in Barbados, tired.
Yo, that's a lot of.
Oh, mind you, I should have been there. The following day I should have been there, and then
Yeah.
the next day would have been. So I would have had time to rest. Didn't have any rest.
Right.
Went to Barbados. I was like, yo, Puffy in Barbados. He's like, no, he in Miami, but so much
Yeah.
so, big up Puffy every time, boy. Puffy called his dad. His dad picked me up from the airport,
Yeah.
right? Because I think I had like a 3-4 hour layover in Barbados.
Okay.
His dad picked me up from the airport, took me to his house, and allowed me like some practice time in his studio, whatever the case is. Like Puffy orchestrated all of that. So I had time to like re-up myself on the decks and whatever the case is, and regroup and whatever the case is. Got back to the airport, forgot my vinyl at Puffy's house. His dad brought them back to the airport, and it's not done yet because we get to the airport thinking we're going straight to Panama, and we're going back to Trinidad because there's no flight there for me.
That's a lot, bro. That's a lot.
It was stressful.
Yeah.
Got back to Trinidad.
I don't lose my time already, you know.
I was stressing, man. Got back to Trinidad and then finally get on a flight going to Barbados. Actually, I think what happened to I don't even know if I should say this, but I called Puff again. I was like, yo, like there's no flight here for me leaving, because even when I got to Trinidad, he was like, I was like, yo, there's no flight here. I don't know who he called or what happened.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, like what's going on? Like why is it Quest there?
Yeah.
Anyway, they did what they had to do, and I got on the flight to Panama. I'm in the immigration line in Panama. I was like, hey guys, just landed. I'm liaising with the person of contact or whatever the case is. I'm like, hey, just landed, whatever the case is. They're like, okay, great, because you're going first. What? Mind you, I'm there in Panama now the night of the competition. Like the competition starts at 8 p.m. I land there at 6 p.m.
Wow. I know what you go first.
And they want me to go first, bro.
No, that's crazy, man. You didn't get a chance to watch nobody.
I didn't even get a chance to breathe the air properly in Panama.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
why do they want you to go first? It's not
I don't know. But you know, and when I read that message, I remember my stomach turned. Like I was like the nerves hit.
Yeah.
But at one point, I gathered my bearings and was just like, yo, this is what you spent the last 3 months practicing for. You have absolutely no reason to be nervous. Finally got on the stage, did the performance. It went very, very good. Everything went very, very well. I didn't come out on top, but I definitely gained some DJ friends and met some people over there. And I mean, if it was something that came around again, I'll definitely do it again.
Do it again. Yeah. You mentioned DJ friends. It seemed like you and DJ Outkast was pretty tight.
Outkast is a general, bro. I remember the first time I heard Outkast in Antigua. Outkast is he played on a couple of events in Antigua. Outkast is one of them guys one of them OGs that you have to put some respect with, bro. Like probably one of the first persons I connected with as like international DJs. Because I mean, I try to do that a lot. I try to network a lot. I try to make connections with other DJs in other places. It works out for what you do.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So you know, you did the Red Bull thing. Now, at this point, now you know you're at a different level. You know, your name's out there. What year you started radio? Is that with the Vibe?
Yeah. 2018. 2018 was the first year I was on radio.
All right. And how you enjoy radio? I love radio.
Radio let me learn different things. Radio definitely gave me personality. Radio let me learn how to use my voice. Being on the radio, like this is me talking normal, but if I put on my radio voice, it's almost like
listen, trust me, one thing about me, I do my research, man. I saw your clips and listen to some of your radio programs.
Right, like
polished. You're definitely polished.
It's a different charisma I try to put on, because I'm just thinking about what my experience would have been by listening to the radio. It should be something that uplifts my spirit. Like once I'm on the radio, I try to have that sort of charisma, something that makes you want, that kind of energy that makes you want to listen, you know. Definitely let you learn endurance as well too, because I mean, it's sometimes you have 3-hour sets and you have to now pace yourself and figure out, all right, cool, how am I going to keep the energy for this 3 hours? And pace yourself to make sure that you have a good show for the next 3 hours, you know. So radio definitely is a vital part at some point, because then even then, like, radio helped me learn how to use my voice.
Yeah.
And I try to translate it to events, being live, because talking on the radio and talking in events is two different sorts of aggressions.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Tones are different.
Tones, things that you say, how you address certain things. Like it requires two different type of personalities, but somewhat the same, if that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
All right. So what was it in 2024 or 2023 you got into production? What was that transition like for you?
Oh, so I got into production. The different people that influenced a lot of things for me, right? Captain John.
Okay.
So I think edits, hearing DJ edits made me interested in how those things were done. Like, how did they make these things? And at that time, a lot of soca edits were running the place too. As edits were a big thing in soca. People would get the stems and move them around and have a different variation of how the song goes in and how they mix in the song, whatever the case is. I'm like, this is dope. How are they doing that? And then I found out that they're using a program called Ableton.
Right.
And they were doing whatever they needed to do and whatever. And I kind of started messing with it.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the patience to sit down and learn it. But during COVID, I didn't have a choice. So it's actually in 2020, I actually started really learning production.
Okay.
Right? In 2020, I started learning production, learning how to make beats and whatever the case is, blah, blah, blah. By the following year, I put out an Antiguan dancehall album, which was #1 on the Apple Music charts for about 2 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah, we put out the Antigua dancehall. Because at that point in time, too, I was like, I would have visited like places like St. Vincent, St. Kitts, and even Barbados and so on, and all of these places. And that was just around the same time I'd started to become on the rise, right?
Yeah.
Trinidad, and then I would have visited St. Kitts, and I play in St. Kitts, and once you go St. Kitts, you have to play St. Kitts dancehall, you have to play St. Kitts dancehall artists. In St. Vincent, you see Barbados have their thing going on. Again, and I'm like, why the hell Antigua don't have their own? Like, what's stopping us? I said, you know what? I'm going to be the one to push it. So what kind of happened was that I kind of like started searching for the Antigua dancehall artists. I already knew about one of them specifically because I went to college with him.
Okay.
Abnormal. But then I was like, who else is there? After that, who other dancehall artists is there? Funny enough. Anyway, I could bring it back around to that. So I started finding these guys, started linking up with them and whatever the case is. The album idea I had was called Homegrown. It was specifically all Antiguan producers, all Antiguan artists, by Antiguan engineers. That was my selling point of that. Like, it was uniquely us, our people, our thing doing it, right?
Original local.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I said, it went #1 for about 2 weeks on Apple Music charts in Antigua, and I was pretty content with that. I was very happy with that. So much so, one of the artists that was on that album, he kept doing his thing. Right now, he's probably the biggest Antiguan dancehall artist right now. That guy Nico Wild West. You know that song, right?
Yeah, I didn't know you were Antiguan.
And I'm going to shout this to the world. I'm going to let everybody know.
Please do, ask some follow-up questions, but please do. Go ahead.
That boy is full on from the 268. His parents are Dominican. His mother is Dominican, and that was my boy. Like, actually, I just came off the phone with him today. He's in St. Lucia right now. He had a performance in St. Lucia because the song is definitely opening some doors for him as an Antiguan dancehall artist. He did his thing during the summer. He had a lot of pushback. He had a lot of fight. People are just saying, "Oh yeah, this is just a fad. It's not gonna last long." And then he started touring. He did Guyana. He did Trinidad. He did St. Lucia. He's been having a good run, man. And I'm very, very happy for him. And
well, that's interesting, man, because of course you mentioned Trinidad and yourself. You've been to all these different islands. So Trinidad itself obviously originated in Trinidad. So in Antigua, what would you call a dancehall artist from Antigua? Does it fall under the Trinidad banner type vibe?
Nah. Them men call it 268 Badness.
268 Badness. All right, there you go.
Man.
I don't want to understand. So 268. So all right, so 268 Badness. That's pretty much it. Okay. So before you did that album, did the local and when I use the term local, is not to downgrade anything.
No, I understand what you mean. No worry.
But before that, was there a space for dancehall artists in Antigua to
No.
do?
So what I did was, because I knew I was trying to do the album, I started pushing their songs that I had no involvement in. Because I realized, all right, and at that time too, everybody locked into the radio. I had the radio in the palm of my hand. I had a platform even going into COVID, so it was fine. And then I started talking about, yo, these Antiguan dancehall, because again, we didn't have any carnival to go on carnival. Soca was coming out, but then dancehall men dropping songs. So I kept shouting about it, kept playing these songs on radio, pulling them up, brought them into the radio, had them do radio interviews. I was now creating the atmosphere for that dancehall. I was just giving them that strength, man. I was running with it. I was sharing every time a song came. I was like, yo, DJ friends, this is the songs you need to sing. I even tried to like stretch it to DJs outside of Antigua. Again, Puffy is a boy. Big up Puffy again. Puffy actually did a song with Nico Wild West as well. He sent a rhythm. He again, everybody inside, so he's building rhythms too. He sent a rhythm and he wanted one song. I gave him 3 songs on the rhythm for 3 different artists. We put that out. It was definitely a good vibe as well. I was definitely trying to grow that space for it. The problem is I left for Florida for a couple of months and nobody else was really championing it. Yeah, I was. And because I wasn't there, it kind of slowly dialed back. That was until Nico now did his thing, and now Nico is out of here.
Going clear. All right, so let's talk about Antigua Soca Monarch 2025, Antigua Mas. How that whole project came together?
So there's another producer that I work with called Chippy G.
Okay.
Chippy and I are like literally Batman and Robin. It all depends on who is Batman at the time and who is Robin at the time, because he might send one and I might alley-oop it, and then I might send him one and he alley-oops it, right? So Chippy sent me this project. They're like, yo, we have this and these are nice. And he always sends me some things that are very ear-catching. It's not a full project. There might just be some chords, simple chords and like some melodies. I now have confidence in 2025 in writing because of a song that I wrote for Tea and Winter in 2024, right? So I now gain confidence in writing. So I got this song and I'm like, let's do this song. And the idea was trying to create an Antiguan anthem, similar to like we had back in the day. We had Antigua Nice and we had Expose, and those were dominant Antiguan anthems, right? Especially for patriotic-esque feeling, like you want to love where you're from, you want to scream about where you're from, or whatever the case is. I mean, I feel like everywhere had it. I mean, Voice and Vaughn have Trinidad Sweet, and Skinny have Vincy People, and whatever the case is, and the Greensmans and them doing their thing. Yeah, we need to have something to champion where we're from. So I started writing it, and I started talking about like, I'm from the land of iron and vibes, and I started writing it out, and then I got down to the chorus and I said, welcome to Antigua Mas. And the only reason I was hesitant with it too. The only reason I was hesitant with it was because, to be honest, I don't think I've said this anywhere else, we don't actually call Antigua Carnival Antigua Mas.
Oh yeah, we call it
Antigua Carnival, right? Well, like, no, saying Antigua, after creating that song, it kind of created a trend where people are saying, yeah, they can't wait to go to Antigua Mas, right? Like, and obviously when I sent it to Chippy was like, yo, this is tough, yo. Like, I was like, yo, you sure? He's like, yeah. And if it's one thing about Chippy and me, we're very honest with each other when it comes to our productions. Like, if we're not feeling, it's like, nah, bro, that I don't know how I feel about that. And then and vice versa. So after I started penning that down, we started looking at the rest of the production. I would have then structured everything. Obviously, if I'm talking about Antigua Mas, I would want it to have that Antigua sound. So I definitely started putting like the iron and the different percussive elements to keep that Antigua sound. And sure enough, we did it. We sent it to. We actually did that song in 2024, you know.
It was 24. Okay.
No, we did it in 24, but it didn't get released until 2025. We had that song sitting down. Yo, that song was probably sitting down since October last year, 2024. And it didn't see the light of day until April 2025. Yeah, we had that sitting down, and then the first day we released it, I remember being at the beach with my friends, and literally the first day, and in the distance, I hear somebody blasting that song on the beach. Yes,
Antigua Mas.
We got it. Right? Funny enough, too, Tian had released another song that was the lyrics kind of directed more to like a Soca Monarch-esque song.
Okay.
And I was like, boy, he might sing this over Antigua Mas now. God
Yeah.
damn it. But as the season progressed, Antigua Mas started kicking ass. It started to pick up in the events, and even him himself, he started enjoying performing it more.
Yeah.
And he started to do things, and I'm playing in every event going across the season, so I pushing my songs too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I pushing it in people's face and whatever the case is, and it's growing. And sure enough, he did it for Soca Monarch. And to be fair, actually, last year is said to be Tian's last year in Soca Monarch, which means I would have given him his final trophy within the power segment of Soca
Nice.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely something. Yeah, man.
You mentioned Antigua sound. What is the Antiguan sound? As far as because now it's a big debate. I won't call it a debate, but it's been a conversation, of course, with Dominica and bouillon music. And is it soca or is it, I don't try to formulate the whole thing. I don't know, but I put it like yourself. Two things. It's a two-part question. What is a specific Antiguan sound? Is it similar to bouillon music, or is it more like
you're gonna get me in trouble here. No.
What would you call the Antiguan sound, and what's your take on the whole bouillon conversation?
The Antiguan sound is a very percussive, heavy sound. It's a lot of congos, it's a lot of cowbells, it's a lot of iron. Yeah, the Antigua sound is a very percussive, heavy element. It's a lot of congos, there's a lot of cowbells, there's a lot of irons, and there's a lot of timbales, and it's very full, and it's very rich, and it's actually very
infectious.
Yeah, how do you put this in words, boy? It's a very full element, and I feel like each island sound comes from the drum. It's also the drums and the percussions and how they move and whatever the case is. Is what determines the sound of whichever. And Denry is close to, but not exactly the same as bouillon. Like Jab and Vinci tracks are rather similar, but not entirely the same. Like, they all have a sound.
Yeah.
Right. Even bouillon is close to that Antiguan sound as well. As it pertains to the debate, the back and forth.
Yeah.
I actually don't like it. I understand people being protective of their how do you put it in words? They're protective of their
culture, pretty much.
Their culture and their thing. But at the end of the day,
okay,
in that you exist in that atmosphere. If you're not us, why aren't you on a dance hall show per se?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so you just want to be your sore thumb out by yourself. I don't like the back and forth because, I mean, before it got big, the people and them that were championing their music from Dominica or the bouillon music, they were performing in soca parties. So I don't understand. No. And funny enough, I actually don't even see those persons who were championing it before, so mainstream, complaining about it. Maybe I could be looking in the wrong places.
Yeah.
It hurts my heart seeing that debate happen. Like, why we just can't unify and be one? Like, why it have to be, oh no, we're not them and them is not we and blah blah blah. Oh God, like, let's just live together now.
Well, I definitely appreciate your take on that, man. I mean, quite frankly, in my opinion, I think is pretty much ridiculous because at the end of the day, especially you being an international DJ, once you leave the Caribbean, at the end of the day, is one umbrella.
They don't care. Yeah.
Listen, most people can't even tell the damn difference. All right. So, of course, you teamed up with Vaughn as well. He did Hysteria, a big tune. In day, and you also
it was actually probably the biggest song for Carnival, actually, for top 3. Kid you not.
Yeah. Actually have a dance for that song, right?
Yeah, we had a dance for that one too, and I wrote that one too, actually.
Yeah,
definitely wrote. I sat there. Same thing again. DJ Waves sent me that project. Little did I know Chippy had involvement in that project as well. The same guy that I usually team up with, he was already working with another project with them.
Yeah.
And again, they sent me the project, and when they sent me the project, I was like, all right, this is cool. I like this. And then he sent me an idea of what he wanted to do with it. So I was like, Waves, I see why you want to do the idea, because that's the first thing my brain of creating in terms of the direction the song would have gone.
Yeah.
I was like, no, let's go another way. And we did it a different way. And then I started messing with like the melodies of what I could sing on it. If you listen, when you start at the start of the song, it says, "Yo, Quest, this is another melody." But and the reason it says is another melody is because when I was writing the song and recording it, that was the second melody that I came up with in writing the song. But it just so happened that it stuck as a part of the intro because I was telling, "Yo, waves, this is another melody. Na 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 na, you and me," because I didn't have any words to it, but I was just letting him know that this is another melody, not from the first draft for the first demo that we wrote.
Right.
It just so happened that it stuck with the song, man.
But a lot of songs actually started with intros, man. A lot of songs came out of intros.
Yeah. But Vaughn's situation was a very last minute thing too. He was dropping like crazy for Grenada, and when he dropped Job Decisions, I got inspired by that song.
Okay.
Vaughn and I are good, so he was like, I'm like, yo, bro, you on fire? What the hell is wrong with you? And he was sending me different things that he said he was gonna drop, right? Because we're cool like that. He would send me things that he has intentions of putting out or whatever. I'm like, all right, since you're sending me things, let me send you something too. And I sent him something that started based off of the inspiration of Job Decisions.
Okay.
And actually, I did not even have intentions of giving Vaughn that song. I was writing that song for Antigua Carnival this year. I think the song says, Hysteria starts off by saying, "Is the job in your area and is we you causing hysteria?" And I think what I wrote initially was, "Is the iron ban in your area and is we you causing hysteria?" Because iron ban is Antigua stuff, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And then when he calls the Grenada flags, I think I was saying red, gold, black, and blue. Right. Something, which would have signified the colors of Antigua.
Yes.
And then we would then flip it to
Grenada,
the Grenada colors and so on. Yeah. So and that all happened. I remember once I sent it to him one day, I think like a Thursday. The Friday we kind of made some tweaks, and the Saturday we sat on the phone for 4 hours working on that song, bro.
Okay.
Literally sat on the phone for 4 hours going back and forth on that song. Yeah. He's like, "Nah, take out this, put it in." I was like, "All right, cool." Now I feel like Vaughn, like, "No, we need to climb here. We need to go down there." Like,
right.
We got it done, man. We got that done.
Nice, man. That sounds good, man. Yeah, I had an opportunity to interview Vaughn before, man. Cool guy, man.
Yeah. So much like Vaughn. Even my mom called Vaughn right now. Vaughn, he actually passed through Antigua the other day, but I wasn't here. So obviously I called moms and said, "Well, moms, Vaughn there, he just reached the airport." She's like, "Vaughn, let me go for him." And she go and took him for some breakfast, and you know what I mean? So Vaughn at this point, Vaughn can show up to my house and he all right.
Yeah. Nice, man. Nice. All right. So Antigua National Music Awards 2-time winner. I mean, you're in a big stage now. You're pretty much a natural hero, man. What was that experience like, man?
I remember, so last year, I remember being asked somebody asked me if they could nominate me. I was like, sure, why not? And I got nominated and I saw it. I was like, yo, all right, cool. And they put it out, and obviously you would ask people to, you encourage people who support you to vote for you. Of course, other persons were going very hard for their votes as well, too. I probably wasn't going as hard.
Yeah, he wasn't that impressed.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that. Like, not that I was impressed, but they were going really hard, bro. Like people they were going in, and
they were selling it.
Yeah, and to still come out with that is a good feeling, being recognized, knowing that like what I'm trying to do is not just for Antigua. Like I always tell people, bro, like when I start doing anything that you see me doing and putting out, especially with music and this and the other, Antigua is just a stepping stone for it. My goal is because I feel like start home, get the support from home, and then after that I have something to talk about. That's like me. That's like let's say Antigua Mas for instance. Now that you've won Soca Monarch, I can when I'm marketing it outside, like, this song won Antigua Soca Monarch. This was the biggest song on the road, whatever the case is, this is what we did. So I kind of use Antigua as a stepping stone for me. And again, with this National Music Award, it's a similar thing. I am very appreciative of it. It keeps my name relevant to anything involving Antigua. People are always looking out for, once they're touching down in Antigua, yo, let's link Quest, yo, whatever the case is, who is the Antiguan representative? Oh, yo, the DJ of the year, Quest. Like, it allows me to have that sort of relevance, you know what I mean? And then to do that 2 years back to back, I mean,
yeah, that's major, man. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I work for it. You know, what I mean, we definitely put in work. We definitely try to stay in people's face because in this world where everything is turning over so fast, content like you put out something today, people forget it by next week because you have to keep being in people's face for them to really remember and then keep you as a staple.
True.
So I definitely do that heavily. I mean, I have my TikTok lives. I put after I do that, I post them on SoundCloud. I post the videos, like small video clips on Instagram. I have my videographer. Like when I travel, I have him to take pictures and allow people to see that I'm out here creating and doing these things. Because if you don't have content right now to show it, then did it actually happen?
True.
Definitely try to be in people's face, and I feel like that helps with me winning these things because people are remembering that Quest deserves this because he was doing X, Y, and Z for so long, and he's been doing so and so and so on. This is something that is awarding of that.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, man, because I myself, I've been encouraged to do some more behind the scenes content and stuff like that, but sometimes too, I'm a kind of a private person too. You know what I mean? So I feel like
I hear that. You can't. The thing about it is, you can't sit and you're literally sitting down home on your phone, watching everybody doing something and wondering why you can't get there. But you're not realizing that they're doing what you're not doing, and what you're not doing is giving people something to watch.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Trust me, man. I have a lot of
it's the world we live in. You have to keep up with the content. You have to keep people give people something to look at.
Yeah, good content. All right, so this year 2026, another big one for you, man. Been nominated Caribbean Music Awards International DJ of the Year.
Yeah, boy.
You know what I mean? You're all with the big leagues on it. So you feel over that, man? You ready?
I didn't even know I was nominated. I did not even know I was nominated. I was minding my... Actually, let me tell you. He's probably going to kill me for saying this live. Videographer came back and damaged his leg. I picked him up from the airport and we went straight to figure out like what was going on with his leg, whatever the case is. So while he's in the wheelchair, I get a notification on my phone.
Right.
While he's in the wheelchair, I'm like, somebody's like, "Yo, congratulations on your nomination." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I won DJ of the Year. What are you talking?"
Right.
I done win. What do you? They're like, "Oh no, you got nominated for Caribbean Music Awards. You didn't know?" I was like, "No, where? Send the link." Mind you, this happened like this category happened 2 years back to back before, and I was not included, right? And I was like, all right, cool. I was slightly disappointed, but I mean, I don't feel like I was disappointed because I just wasn't included. I didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong. I feel like when it's supposed to happen, it's supposed to happen, right? And then I saw some stuff about the Caribbean Music Awards. I wasn't killing up myself about it because it was like it'll probably go around again, and I probably won't be even recognized. So I didn't let it bother me. And sure enough, the universe was like, "Ha, I got some news for you."
Yeah, man.
And I got that. I saw that there, and I could not even believe. I was very, very excited and very, very happy. I've been putting out videos of performances here, there, and in Antigua, abroad, French Guyana, Jamaica, wherever we go. We try to make sure that people get some sort of insight of what the performance looked like and how things went down there. At first, I thought, man, am I wasting my time? But then again, it just shows you that people are looking, even if they're not interacting or reacting in that moment. People are definitely looking. People are watching. People have their ideas of what they're doing.
Yeah. I like how you say that, man. Sometimes you feel like you're wasting their time. I think that's something that a lot of people, once you're in the creative space, sometimes you feel like you're putting all this work. I'm like, man, people are really paying attention, but they are.
Even if they don't like it, even if they don't think, the people are seeing it. People see what you do, for sure. People definitely see what you do. It's just to stay consistent with it.
Yeah, man. Nice. All right. Well, I definitely will see you up there. I guess it's August, right? The awards.
September. Well, hopefully, I think because this is just the preliminary rounds, and even being recognized by that is enough for me. Like I'm cool with that, to be honest. Because I mean, I was nowhere in it the last time, so even getting here. So I think after this, they will then thin out who now moves on to the other leg to decide, all right, cool, these are who we're selecting, and this is who we'll vote for to definitely win. So
but hey, it's still an addition to the bio.
Yeah, for sure. sure.
All right. So this year, man, you was in Trinidad Carnival 2026. I mean, how was that experience?
I mean, it was a Yuma experience, bro. Come on now. Big ups to the Yuma family.
Yeah,
We did a couple events. I want to say 6, but I could be wrong.
yeah. I think it was Caesar Army too, right?
Yeah, I did Bush.
Okay.
I did Bush. I did Soca Brunch. I did Juve Jumbies.
Okay.
And then I was on the road Monday, Tuesday.
Nice.
The performances. Yeah, I can't. Trinidad is Trinidad, bro. I always enjoy Trinidad. Trinidad is my second home. The first time I went to Trinidad was like 2017.
Okay.
And I didn't have any bookings, any gigs. I just had a DJ friend, Heron X-Bass from Artist Team.
Okay.
He was just like, yeah, forward. Because he came to Antigua a couple of times. And then obviously, again, the networking thing that I told you about earlier.
Yeah, man. Very important.
He came here and like showed him a good time, make sure he was good. And then I came down to Trinidad. He said, yeah, stay with me. And I go 13 party in 7 days. And then after that, the rest is history. I started going down annually, connecting with other people, trying to make my way through the circuit. I feel like Trinidad is the one carnival that I definitely will go every time because there's so much key players there that you need to see. Even if they don't see you any other time in the year, at least the one time in the year they see you in Trinidad. Like you just need to keep yourself in that
active.
You was down there?
No, I didn't make it this year, man. I'm planning on traveling. Actually, this year. Well, I'm gonna put it. I'll be done this soon. I want to put it out there in the public.
Yeah, but I feel like Grenadian definitely gave them a run for their money this year as it pertains to music, or in the power segment at least. Because Marshall had his thing going on. Bungie and Mevon did his whole run with the different artists.
Yeah,
but to say that they had the leading songs as it pertains to like power.
Right.
I think that Grenada definitely gave them a run for their money, boy.
Yeah,
Grenada is something to look at right now because what is going on?
Yeah, they're definitely taking it to a different level.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. All right. So this part of the podcast is called 2000 Questions About Me. I'm not gonna ask you 2000 questions, obviously, but it's based on a book that I bought a couple of years ago. So I'm gonna ask you to pick a number from 1 to 2000, and the number that you pick will be the question that's asked out of the book. 16. All right. Boom, 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 boom. All right, here we are. 16. Just so you. All right. Here we go. What do you love on your burger or veggie burger?
What do I love on my burger? I'm not eating a veggie burger, so let's start there.
Hey, don't accidentally try it, man. I had a beef burger recently. It wasn't bad at all. I was rather impressed, to say the least.
That's like you eating fried cauliflower talking about his fried chicken. Don't upset me. But on my burger, I need some hot sauce. I need some ketchup, slight mayo. And if I can add some shrimp, then I try that in there too.
Burger? Wow. Yeah. You're a big boy. What about onions? Would you do onions and stuff?
I do a little bit. No, onion does stink up your mouth. Maybe cucumbers, if anything.
But listen, I never heard about a shrimp on a burger, man. That's different.
Don't knock it till you try it, my boy.
Yeah, that's different, man. I all inclusive. DJ Quest, man. Give thanks for the time. And so before we wrap up, man, any last things you wanna share? Let people know how they can follow you. Your SoundCloud. All different.
Yeah. Things. DJ Quest 268 across everything, literally everything. DJ Quest 268, www.djquest268.com. Vote for me in the Caribbean Music Awards for International DJ of the Year. You would definitely make my year. My birthday is in September. The award show is in September. Give me a good birthday gift. You know what I mean? Look out for Antigua Carnival music. It is coming. We probably may be dropping something this week.
Okay.
The Friday on the 3rd, Friday, April 3rd.
Yeah.
Maybe. Don't hold me to that, but trust me, definitely look out for Antigua's Carnival and the music dropping for Antigua's Carnival this year. It's something that you want to experience. I promise you.
All right. Well, give thanks, man. I mean, much appreciation, DJ Quest, man. Keep doing your thing. I'm looking for big and major things from you. No
problem. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Quest.
And that's a wrap on this episode of the AlonzoBash podcast. Thank you for tuning in and rocking with us. If you enjoyed today's conversation, leave a comment and let us know your favorite episode so far. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to help the podcast grow. You can catch the AlonzoBash podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and even on Amazon Alexa devices. Just ask Alexa to play the AlonzoBash podcast. Until next time, stay inspired, stay connected, and as Alonzo would say, stay focused on your goals and dreams. See you on the next episode.
GPG Records.
Winter day. I'm from a land of iron and vibes, somewhere that I tell the whole world about. A place that party morning and night. If you can't keep up, then you get out. Could a hurricane, it could be a drought. On the road, I want mission we a carry out. Big energy when I'm running out. I can't wait on that day. Welcome to Antigua Mas. Them people have no behavior, they have no behavior. Welcome to Antigua Mas. You know it's danger, you know it's danger. When it comes to mass, it was deadly. How we turn up, love can devour so badly. Can't get enough. Welcome to Antigua Mas. These people have no behavior, they have no behavior. Them can't hold we back when the iron band push out. Rhythm in your soul, something I can't live without. What a sweat out, waistline belting out. Tell them with them head down south, put aside. Everybody dance to the rhythm and pull up a vibes to the sky. We are wave all day, yeah. And when we reach by the streets, by the market, we hear them say, welcome to Antigua Mas. These people have no behavior, they have no behavior. Welcome to Antigua.